What's going on, guys? Gilly Writes Comics here. And I know it's been a while, but I have been busy creating and making some awesome comics. One of which right here flew so under the radar in comic book shops last year. It's almost criminal. I'm the writer, co-creator of Galactic, Rodents of Mayhem. The artwork to that is done by Sebastian Navas. The beautiful color work is done by Tiago Barca. And our amazing letters is done by Davison Maines. And I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit of Galactic Rodents of Mayhem if you've never seen it. Basically, it's my anthropomorphic love letter to Saturday morning cartoons, video games, anime, my childhood growing up. If you want to compare it to something, there's definitely a lot of TMNT influence, as well as Star Wars. It's a really awesome book. It's made with love, and you're never gonna come across something quite like it on mainstream, even on the indie circuit. It's definitely a top pro quality book, and this is an example of one of our. This is a variant cover of our first issue traditional comic book size that was released in comic book shops, as I said, last year. We were with an obscure indie distributor at the time. We're no longer with them. We're flying solo now. And we actually, I'm telling you, we sold pretty well for even me being an obscure indie writer. Basically, if you were a comic book shop owner and you looked deep in that Diamond Previews catalog and you saw Galactic Rodents of Mayhem and you said, wow, this looks cool, I know I can move some copies of this, I appreciate you because you are awesome and you helped get Galactic Rodents of Mayhem out there. It's definitely hard for an indie comic creator, indie comic team, when you're operating outside of the margins of mainstream comics. It's very hard to get noticed. That's the biggest challenge, is trying to have eyes on your book. And crazy enough, I went to my local comic book shop the day this released, hoping I could just see my comic book shop on the rack and pull it out. And lo and behold, they had no clue what Galactic Rodents of Mayhem was. And that's the kind of thing that kind of hurts and kind of sucks at the same time. But, you know, the good news is that this first issue, completely dry, just with zero marketing at all, was able to sell over 2,000 something copies, which for someone who's, for me, that's great. The appeal is there. If you have a partnership and there's a lot of marketing, like a lot of marketing that's going on about your book, where people can see it, where people can make comparisons, that will help. But again, great marketing, of course, costs a lot of money. And it's me as an indie creator, my resources are so limited. It goes without saying. And even there's some distributors there, some publishers out there that, as for them, it's also hard to put finances on just marketing and just, nurturing and growing and developing books and just getting them out there with, through social media, just through, decent online marketing. It's hard. So anyway, we were able to move over 2,000 copies of this. And, I just, again, it's a top quality book. You're not going to find nothing like it. Anthropomorphic space capybaras in full effect here. Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. And it's an amazing book, is what you're looking at. Okay. So basically, since we're flying solo, we have to look for new ways to grow our brand, to grow our product. And part of that is launching exclusives across various platforms. And me, I'm a crowdfunder, and that's how I'm able to make this into awesome, tangible form. So to those who backed my first Indiegogo campaign, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, because I wouldn't have this without you. And with that said, we have to grow our band. There's a ton of people out there that don't even know Galactic Rodents of Mayhem exists, that don't know these awesome space capybaras exist. And I know the artwork is just amazing, right? Just look at this. This is top quality stuff. This is letting you know that, yeah, there's people out there that are not mainstream, but that can definitely pack a punch and are definitely worth the exposure or worth the time. But again, it's a crowded market, and you just got to grind. So part of my grind is through crowdfunding, and so what I wanted to do was, this is a basic 22-page first issue. I wanted to do something called the creator's cut, right? You have a director's cut. I'm not a director, I'm a creator, and I wanted to do a comic that would be exclusive to helping us grow our brand, and that would be the Galactic Rodents of Mayhem creator's cut. And I have behind me what is indeed the creator's cut. And I went a different way here. I wanted something a little bit bigger. I mean, bigger is better, right? I mean, that's what she said. Sorry. Forgive me. Sometimes I just get carried away. Lord, forgive me. But you know, if you're in video games, right, graphics, it's always like graphics are better. This was better. If you're into television, right, the bigger the TV, the better, right? So with me, as I'm unboxing the creator's cut of Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, I wanted to do something bigger. I wanted to show that, you know what, there is a way to make comics more engrossing, more engaging. So here's a look at our creator's cut. All right, and as we break through the plastic mold here, we break through the chains, here's a close, exclusive look at our creator's cut. So this is a pretty big book. Holy cow, this is pretty big. I wanted it this size. I wanted something bigger. When you're talking comic books, you know, someone said a picture's worth 1,000 words. Imagine what you get across a multitude of awesome comic book panels. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, a comic book will have so many words through its art that just speaks for itself, that just talks about its quality, about what it's worth. So here is a look at our creator's cut, right next to our traditional first issue. That creator's cut, if you can just see it, basically just swallows it up. It's a pretty big book. I think the dimensions are, it's 8 by 3 by 11 by 7. I wanted something very, very big. Look at this. And I'm thinking, you know, like I said, bigger is better. I wanted something like kind of like magazine quality, a little bit bigger. I wanted something glossy, colorful, but you know that when you open it, here we got a cardstock cover. So it's, you know, you feel the quality. You feel like you're getting something. This will be available exclusively on Kickstarter. I'm going to be doing an ongoing Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. We'll be having their Creator's Cut series as totally ongoing. And here you go, Creator's Cut. This is the team behind it. And, you know, this is just, wow, this is just amazing. This is like, I want you guys to get immersed when you read this. Traditionally, I wanted a square binding. I know that was a little tough because we got a 40-page book and some square bindings, it doesn't work too well, and it could come loose. But you know what? I opted to go for the, oh my gosh, just look how, oh man, just the size is amazing. You're going to get lost in this book. And what makes a creator's cut the creator's cut? Every creator's cut issue is going to have something called the Creator's Corner. It's going to have a little Q&A, and it's basically me answering questions. How did you come up with GROM, and what was the inspiration? You know, I'm going to engage a community. Community asks me questions. Hey, what characters they want to see, what things they want to, hey, as the story goes, I think it would be really cool if, you know, on the ground up, you know, you're engaging with the community from the beginning. I thought that'd be cool. And it brings me back to like the little editorials, and the, you know, Marvel Comics and all that, where you just, hey, you know, I read this issue and I like this. And if we can do that from the beginning, I thought it'd be cool. I funded this on Kickstarter. Like I said, it's issue number 1, 2, 3. We got number 1. It's just going to be continual. It's going to be an ongoing. GROM will be an ongoing, a crowd-going thing. And here's one thing I like to call GROM Bites. Fun fillers and story event happenings in the Galactic Rodents of Mayhem universe. So again, sometimes you watch a good show or a good anime, and it's just like, you want to get to the main story, and there's so many fillers. So I'm like, I'm going to focus on the main story, but each Creator's Cut issue will have a 3 to 5 page little mini story on GROM. Different characters, different happenings in the universe. And here is pretty much how they got their flagship Burning Rose. You can check that out. Again, the quality is top notch. The art team behind this is one of a kind, and they're hard workers, man. They're grinders like me. We grind. You know, I can't afford to pay a high super duper page rate like Marvel or DC. You know, they really pay their artists super well. I have to crowdfund, so I get their rate through crowdfunding, and they get the rate, and I crowdfund the books, and we bring them in physical form. Here's some more behind the scenes for the creative process. You know, we're showing you a little black and white, and then we show how it looks in colored form. The final, you know, the final process, the complete page. How we came about with the cover. We had different versions of the cover and why we opted on this. Like, you know, some concepts. You're gonna have a lot. And here's a little dedication. It's just something very special. And just, you know, this is hard work. Okay, you know, the creative team puts our blood, sweat, and tears in this. When we did our initial first volume, you know, we went through some hard stuff, especially Sebastian, the artist. He lost his daughter at birth, and we have a little dedication there to forever honor her memory. And even me, my wife recently gave birth. We welcomed our little girl into the family. She's 4 months old, and you know, I named her Elissa, you know, as in honor of Alyssa, who passed away through the making of GROM. So we honor every creator's cut issue will be unique. It'll be distinct. We'll have, here we go, fan arts. We got fan art here. You know, so we're just trying to do something new, trying to do something different. Again, you know, hard work here. It definitely pays off. And just to show you how we compare to mainstream, you ready to see this? Here's a look at The Last Ronin, a book that I'm very fond of. And here we have The Last Ronin, and here we have The Last Ronin compared with Galactic, RODENTS, and Mayhem. And Galactic, RODENTS, and Mayhem, you can already see how it pretty much is a big quality book, and inspired by, of course, the greats that influenced me as a kid. So anyway, guys, I will shut up. This is Galactic, RODENTS of Mayhem. This is one of the best indie comics out there that you never even heard of. Definitely consider sharing news of Galactic, RODENTS of Mayhem around. We're trying to grow our brand. We're trying to grow our product. Definitely take a look at our Instagrams at Space Capybaras. We're trying to do cool things in comics. There's a lot of good stuff out there, but we are confident. We know that we have something special that deserves to keep on going. Again, we need crowdfunding to make it happen. We need you guys, grassroots approach. Hey, if you like comic books, if you like stories that go everywhere, and that take you to that far away galaxy, that, you know, immerse you in a whole different world, and that are based on, you know, the great comics, the great stories, the Saturday morning cartoons, the video games that we grew up on, you won't find a book better than Galactic, RODENTS of Mayhem. This is truly a work of art and definitely a passion project. So this is a look at our creator's cut, and we're going to be just keeping this on going. Exclusive to crowdfunding. Definitely going to bring it also to Indiegogo. So stay tuned. We're trying to do big things. And again, we need the comic book community to help us get there, because without you guys, we can't make this awesomely tangible comic book. Thank you so much for checking out Gilly Writes Comics. Check out my work and check out these unapologetically rad space capybaras. Till next time, guys. Peace.